My name is Callum Mills and my close rate for my agency was more than 50% last month. And this month we now hired a closer and I was able to train him to the level where he closes at the same percentage of 50%. And it all comes down to our sales script and our sales process that's a bit more different than what your typical guru or person out there kind of teaches you. We have a lot of kind of tweaks that we've done to the script, to the process, to the offer that really allow us to consistently close at 50%, whether it's myself as the founder, but also now my closer who's only been on the team for literally 10 days. That being said, in this video, what I'll do is I'll break down an entire live sales call recording of me closing a 6K paid in full while I was in vacation in Lisbon with a couple of friends. You can go through the entire call and see exactly the type of questions I ask, the offer I presented, and the way I handle their objections and everything. Enjoy the call, take notes, because you're going to be learning a ton of it if you stick to the actual very end. And I can tell you it's probably not what you think it's going to be like. And then enjoy the video, enjoy the call, leave a like to the video, subscribe to the channel, would massively help me support me. But that being said, I won't bore you any further. Have fun.
Hey,
Good morning.
sure.
I can hear you.
Perfect. Not able to see you yet.
My video off?
It doesn't seem to be off, it just seems to be black instead.
I think it's like covered or something.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
Right, there we go.
Yes.
Perfect. Cool. Very, very nice to meet you. Sorry for being or running a couple of minutes too late here. I was still stuck on another. It'll probably take a bit longer, but I have to get off the call timely, I guess. Cool. But that said, if you're okay with it, just because we have limited amount of time here, I've got about 55, 60 minutes here, if that still works for you. Is it okay we just jump right into it?
Yep.
Cool. Then, full transparency, I do speak with around 6 to 8 clinics per day, so my head can be a bit of a mess and I can confuse or mix up a couple of things. That being said, though, I did take notes, don't worry. So what I'm getting from the overall situation, you guys are, I think, doing anywhere between 100 and 150 a month in revenue, really looking to take things to 200. You've tried running some Facebook ads, have never really worked. And overall, you're just looking to essentially get more patients coming in for like skin tightening, lasers, and stuff like that, correct? Am I on the right track here?
Right. So right now I am running Google ads and then Instagram ads. And so that's what's bringing in a lot of our clients. Our signature treatment is the liquid BBL, which I still want them, those people are going to maintain that, but I just bought a new skin tightening laser. And so I'm looking to bring a lot more patients in for that.
Yeah. And like skin tightening, if you do remember, like, this is kind of our main thing, our bread and butter, our specialty. What is the device that you guys have?
Oligio.
Interesting. Is that like similar or comparable to like an Alma Opus or RF microneedling? I haven't heard of the brand name.
This is actually from South Korea. I am I'm the only medical spa in the Chicagoland area to have it. I think they're trying to make some headway into the United States. There's a few clinics in California. So this is radio frequency, but it's needleless. There's no needles.
Interesting.
So there's no downtime at all.
Okay. And is it like a laser, like more so like a fractional laser or from a techno?
No, it's radio frequency. It's heat.
Yeah, it's just RF. Okay. And in terms of like price ranges, like offering the treatment, like what do you typically charge for one session or for a package, or like how many treatments are necessary, just so I get a better picture?
Yeah, right now for the face, I'm doing $700 a session for the face. And I'm starting to do body for $500. I think right now I'm still kind of testing it to see, but eventually the goal is to sell packages, right? Maybe 3 for $2,500 or something like that is what I envision.
Intend to do. And you already got the laser, like perfect. So you're pretty much ready to see patients already, or have you already seen patients for it?
Patients. We already have. Yeah, so we're getting people in through Instagram. My existing patients.
So you're intending to sell those in series of 3 or 4. You've already started seeing some patients. You haven't actively done marketing for it. And you're running Facebook ads or Instagram/Google ads with an agency for your liquid BBL and other treatments, I'm assuming. Is there a specific reason you're not asking them to do the skin tightening advertising, or What do you feel
Um,
like?
so the Google AdWords, I feel like, for a higher price point, like the liquid BBL, it makes sense, but it's a little too expensive to do for the skin tightening just yet. So I'm kind of leaving him
Mhm.
with with the BBL. Instagram, she is doing an ad for skin tightening. So it is bringing in patients. Like I said, I just want more because I'm going to be on vacation next month. And so I want my esthetician to be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she does the skin tightening, microneedling, that kind of thing. But skin tightening is going to be a higher price point than microneedling.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. And so she's running one or two ads on skin tightening. What is that process? I think you guys said it's like it goes to go high level and then you call them up or your team calls them up, like
No,
front desk,
no,
or
we don't.
then I'm
So
getting
Instagram is just she runs an ad on Instagram for the skin tightening, and then they just DM us for more information, and then we send them the booking link, and then they go ahead and book on our software.
okay. And with Google, I'm assuming they just go directly to your software on the site.
So Google, they have their own platform, and I have a virtual assistant in the Philippines who follows
Hmm.
up and does all of that stuff, and then sends them the booking link, and then they book on our software. So the Google
Gotcha.
ads, my staff and I don't get involved with that. We let her do all of that until they book with us on our
Gotcha.
software.
And with I guess more so specifically because I agree with you, Google Ads is great, especially for like higher ticket treatments or even surgery with skin tightening. And like again, that's just giving you the context from a background of like that's primarily like 95% what we do is skin
Yeah.
tightening. We see faster and more effective results focusing on social media, like Facebook and Instagram. So like that's where we typically double down on, especially in the beginning. And you can still later on like expand to TikTok. You can even do Snapchat, which can work, or Google. But because Facebook is, you said it yourself, known to be a bit cheap, you just need it, like you need to compensate with speed and like dialed in process sometimes. But that's where we really focus on when it comes to skin type. So I
So
guess
what
that's where,
my question is, because I have gone through probably 15 marketing companies, so I know
okay,
how the whole
wow.
system works. Yeah. So the issues I've had with Facebook in the past have been poor lead quality. And I don't really want to chase leads. So what is your process in terms of ensuring that we have better lead quality? And I know you spoke earlier, like on our call previously, that you do
Mhm.
have a team that can book the appointment. So I'd like to just sort
Yeah,
of get through all that because I know how Facebook works. So I'd like to see
of
the
course.
ads and see what the whole process is.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. What's really important for us when it comes to quality is like our appointment setting team. I don't really like the word call center, but to a certain degree, like their job is to call every new lead within 2 to 5 minutes and then convert them. A lot of them have some sort of medical background where they can actually explain the treatment, how it works. We have all the FAQs, the scripts, and everything. So like we're able to provide more so of a white glove service there. And when it comes to the quality, we have certain ways on like how we can target higher income like population or like people or prospects on Facebook directly. But the biggest thing really comes down back to the back end where something I don't know what when you did run those ads in the past and it didn't work or you had low lead quality, like were you just running like a super cheap Facebook discount type ad like
Yeah,
on
it
a
was like 199 body contouring or,
yeah
and that's what those companies are like, oh, you got to do a lower price to get people in.
yeah
But I realized I'm like, it's really hard to get them in on a lower price and then upsell them to a $2,000
hmm
package. You know what I mean? So
can
I,
I
I,
and can I add something here too, which is like one of the biggest things for us, and like to a certain degree, we just discovered this a while back ago by just testing it, is that increasing the price point from not having a $200 intro offer because that's a cheap Facebook discount. And naturally, if you just lead with a price like that, you will get people to sign up that are not really financially able. Versus if you do like an initial treatment for $500, which is typically what we do, 400 or 500, we never go below 300. If we're doing something in that area, like you will automatically get way more financially able people because it will weed out all those Groupon clients. And then we also have
Right.
like further qualification steps in kind of our, I guess, nurture process. And with those past companies too, I'm curious, were you still the person calling the leads, or have you also worked with an agency where they actually took care of the calls and everything?
Both. So some companies, they had a call center where, but I think I was telling you, I think the team was based out of the Philippines. And so they
Hmm.
would take a deposit, but it was body contouring. So it was a lower price point, you know? And then there
Yeah.
were some companies that my staff was reaching out to. So it was kind of a
Yeah.
little bit of,
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, and I guess, and also like with you also reaching out to us here, if what you're currently doing, it seems like chasing down the leads is kind of one of the things that you're kind of a bit annoyed about, or where you feel like things could be improved. But I guess more so in general, like what parts of the process do you feel like are not working at the level they could be, or that they should?
I think that at that time it was the low price point and it was the chasing down the leads. And the company that I was working with, who was doing the booking. It was called Crane Marketing. They were out of Canada or something like that. And it
Okay.
just, they promised me, so they had guaranteed me, I think, 20 booked appointments in 90 days. It took
Okay.
them 5 months to get that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
And
that's on a $199 offer.
that was on a $199 offer. Yep.
That is crazy.
And their team was based in the Philippines, right? So this was
Hmm.
like 2021 or no, 2022, I think it was. It was 2022. So it was 3 years ago. But
Uh-huh.
you know, I mean, I've been doing the Facebook ads now for what, since 2019, since I opened, you know? So it's like I've tried so many different things and it seems like those were the two things, right? It was the price point and it was the difficulty in booking because people did not want to give their credit card information over the phone. So what we do now is we use our Vagaro software and we just
Yeah.
send them the link. And then there's a $50 consultation fee
Hmm.
that we can subtract from the procedure.
Yeah.
But sending them the link allows them to book on their own and there's no fear of credit card,
Yeah.
information getting stolen.
Yeah. And we also like we typically collect deposits in two ways, either on the phone or we send them like a secure payment link, and we do it very similar to like what you guys do. We've
Like, do you
sat
use Stripe?
you can integrate whatever you want to, right? You can
Okay.
do for Stripe, PayPal, whatever. But what we found, and we've tested that actually, is like when you just send in the link, you will get people that will self-book essentially. In a lot of situations, though, you will get so many more people book if you have an actual team calling them, because you can kind of have that conversation with them. They can get all the questions answered before them. You can
Right.
nurture them, and they
Right.
feel a bit more like, I guess, secure because they've already had that touch point. They already know, like, and trust you, like, to a slight bit. That's based on
Right.
our. Do you feel like with what you're currently doing, it's more so a problem of, hey, you're not with specifically the skin tightening app, because that's what we're going to focus on. Do you feel like you're not getting enough volume, or just not enough
Yeah.
leads booking an appointment?
So if, again, going back to like I was telling you, you looked at our brand, right?
Yeah, I have
I don't know
everything in
if you
front of
did
me.
or not. So one of our issues, and it's not a bad thing, it's just we have so many services. And so sometimes I think it's kind of hard to a service that equal attention. A liquid BBL, because it's such a unique service, tends to get a lot of attention. And
Agreed.
so a lot of our questions and stuff and people's interest in on that, right? And
Hmm.
these are, for $4,500, $5,500 packages. So I obviously want to maintain that and keep that going. So there's been no issue with the skin tightening. I just haven't put forth the effort yet because I've been doing all this other stuff. So I
Uh-huh.
just want to start. We are getting some clients in through our Instagram ad, but we're doing like maybe, I don't know, $50 for it. It's not like we're spending a lot of money, so
Yeah.
so it's not that there's an issue, it's that I haven't really even put forth the energy or the effort yet
Hmm.
because we've been doing.
Yeah. And I guess what I'm more curious about is why. not do this with the person you're currently doing it. And the reason I'm asking primarily is I'll be very honest with you. If you think you can still kind of scale further, get all those patients in, and there's no need for our help, I'd much rather like be honest and tell you, hey, look, this is what you should be doing. Like it's not necessarily to partner with us. You already have everything working. Is there a
Well,
specific
because
reason that you,
no, I mean, I guess when I saw your Facebook ad or whatever come up, I was curious as to what you do differently, right? So
hmm
I think that with my Instagram social media person, she does a great job, but there's a lot of services that she has to do the microneedling, she has
focus
to
on?
do the beauty, she has
Yeah.
to do the Oligio. So there's a lot. My Google ad is just doing liquid BBL. So I want to try to focus on just the skin tightening because, like I
Yeah.
said, I'm out of town next month. I'm the only one, me and my nurse do the booties. She's on maternity leave. I'll be out of town. So now I have an esthetician who needs to have her schedule fill up,
Okay, that makes sense. So just
right?
for
So
me to make
that's what
sure,
yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking for is to book up
yeah,
her schedule while I'm gone. And if this works, then I have no problem when I get back.
of course, yeah, that makes sense. So really, the main thing is that she could probably still get things going and everything, but because she has so many different treatments to advertise for, so many responsibilities essentially, she's not able to really double down and focus on the skin tightening that you're really
Right,
looking to boost and grow right now.
right.
Correct?
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. And in terms of the advertising budget, you said you're currently spending $50 per day.
No, she was doing three ads, and I think we did like maybe $200 for those three ads. So whatever that is, maybe
And
like
for
60 to 70. I have to actually speak to her this week about what we're going to continue for next week. So it's something like that, I think.
okay, and that's typically on a duration of what, like a week? So like
Yeah, like a
$200
week.
per week.
Yeah. But
Gotcha.
it's
Okay,
it's between different treatments.
ads. Oh yeah, treatments. Okay, okay, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
with you spending about, I guess again, I do want to focus more on the skin tightening specifically. Um, how many from the ads? How many new patients you from the ads? From what I'm hearing, you're about $200 per week. Let's just meaning let's say 1,000 a month and a third, correct?
More or less, I guess. Yeah.
More or less. So roughly $350 per patients. Um, are you seeing consistently from for the skin
Maybe two a week.
2 week? So you're saying seeing patients and you're only spending $150 a month on us patients.
Yeah, this past month, what did we see? I don't know, maybe this past month, like it was more like 5 or 6. Can't remember. I have to look at my calendar because we're also reaching out to existing patients, and then some people have
Yeah.
already packages that we sold in May, so they're coming in for their second treatment.
Oh, I see.
So, so I can't really like I know last week I had a model, we had like a model come in, she and her daughter, we created a lot of content, and then like they came in, but they only spent 300, but they came in through Instagram. And then we had a patient who came in last
Gotcha.
week, I
So
think. So
okay, that makes
it's
sense.
hard to tell, right? Because it's like people are coming in from different streams, I guess.
Channels, streams, yeah, so it's not too clear. That makes sense. Okay, and overall, I do believe earlier you mentioned that the goal with this skin tightening too, but overall with the clinic is to kind of hit 200 grand a month. Is that where
Yeah.
you guys are like the number one med spa in town, like with no more competitors around you in that same level, or is that more so to make sure we can consistently grow, keep like doing payroll and everything?
It's I was last month, I think I was at 140.
hmm
And so again, June has been slower, so I think so far I'm only at like maybe 50 or 55 in June. So June's
Oh,
definitely been slower, yeah. And I
is
think
that?
part of that is the liquid BBL. We just haven't been doing as many of them. We were so busy with those last month.
Yeah, interesting. So it's like the last month were they just like exceptionally
I
Like
think
this
last month, so the liquid BBL, I had a sale that was running in March and April, and a lot of
Mhm.
people came in and booked in May for that sale. No, wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Yeah, last month was May, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They booked in May. I know, I'm like, wait, what's the date today? So I think that's why it was really busy. And then additionally, the time frame, right? People are like, I want to have my booty ready for the
For
summer.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were doing, and then I think my nurse added a few more days on, and so she was doing lip injections, and she was doing, another big service we have are these fat dissolve injections that I do, and so we were really busy with that last month,
Yeah.
and June, it's just been a little. I'm not really sure why.
Okay, and like has that happened before where like a major drop like that? Because I mean, we have a week to end up the month, but 3/3 of the month have passed and you've only done a third
Yeah.
of like previous month's
Um,
revenue.
No, this will definitely, out of the whole year, June will be the slowest month since February, I'd say.
What was February like?
February was pretty slow too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember my numbers, but it was pretty slow. And then
Gotcha.
March and April ramped back up because I had the sale on the
Hmm.
BBL.
And what about, because I know for a lot of clinics we speak to, like summer months can be a bit slower, and I can imagine that especially if you guys focus a lot on liquid BBLs, possibly that's also like gonna slow down a bit compared to like
Yeah,
May and April and March in summer. So
right.
like, are you guys expecting a slight dip in revenue throughout the summer, or do you feel like you can like easily maintain like
I mean, I
100,
don't want there
150?
to be. So I think, again, that's why I'm looking at doing this because I don't want my revenue to solely rely on the liquid
On the
BBL.
BBL?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because liquid BBL is, it's labor intensive. Like me and my nurse are doing it, but I want to kind of elevate these other services we have so that
hmm,
if I do have a dip in the liquid BBL, that I have Oligio skin tightening there to pick up the slack.
yeah, for sure, that makes sense. So really the main thing is not just helping you guys scale or get more patients coming in, but also making sure like I guess it's more so diversified in terms of like
Yes,
what patients are coming in for. So that's as a result of that, like you're more consistent with the business and you can
exactly.
consistently hit those 150,000 or possibly in 3, 6 months from now, maybe even 200,000.
That is
I
that
guess
is
it's
what I'm looking for.
okay. But with that being said, when it comes to choosing the right marketing partner to realistically make that happen, I'm asking primarily just because you've been through a lot of those presentations, probably, or those calls in general, or agencies in general, and I don't want you to feel like, oh, here we go again. So what are some of those ideal criteria that you're looking for in a partner to realistically make that happen? Like, what are some of those boxes that need to be checked for you?
I want ideal clients who can afford our services. That's
Hmm.
number one. So we've already talked about that, not to come in at a
Yeah,
lower price point. And then I kind of want something that is done for us, right? Where they're booking and those clients are showing up and getting the service.
for sure. And I'm not sure if I already covered this on the initial call, but just because I know you're going in like a month, you said, what is like the timeline once you do find a partner program that makes sense, checks your boxes, and of course makes how soon are you looking to get the ball rolling?
I mean, I'd like to get the ball rolling as soon as possible because, like I said, I'm leaving in the middle of July. And so
Hmm.
I want, the 4th of July week we are closed. So, in the US we have our 4th of July
Yeah,
next week. So we are closed that whole week. Just because in the past we found that it's just been really slow. And so like I guess everybody kind of needed a break and stuff. So this is our last week of working until the second week of July.
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So essentially, one more week now. Next week you're going to be off, and then the week after you're going to be back on again. But then I'm
Yes.
assuming that's without you. Will you have
I'm going to
already
be
left?
there. I'm going to be there that first week, doing as
Okay.
many booty procedures as I can before
Yeah,
I'm on the 15th.
for sure. Gotcha. So just to make sure I've got everything in front of me, you're currently doing last month was good. This month has not been good at all. Biggest issue is not just, I guess, the whole process, because it seems like there are some people like dropping off because you don't have a patient sales team. It's less done for you as of right now. So I guess that's the second thing that you would want to focus on a bit more, where there's definitely room for improvement. And then the main thing is just to make sure that you can hit those consistent 150 grand a month or even higher
Yeah,
by having a more so diversified again service range, or patients coming in also for the skin tightening to replace yourself. Because I guess other than that, like another thing I'm just thinking of right now, if you're the primary person doing the butts, and everybody is coming in for the butts, like what if you're away for a month, as you just said, you want to kind of fill the schedule up in the
exactly.
meantime.
That's what
Cool. So
I'm
just
looking
so
for. Yeah,
yeah, so everything else
yeah,
that you would add.
no.
Cool. Then, I mean, look, I appreciate you being so open and transparent with me. Based on everything you've told me, I definitely think we can help you get skin tightening patients coming in as long as we follow our process. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into like everything we do and kind of show like our process and what we do a bit differently. Please feel free to ask as many questions as you'd like whilst we run through the presentation. I don't want you to feel like, oh, here we go again. And all I ask from you is you can be completely transparent or open with me. I promise you won't hurt my feelings. So just let me
Okay.
know. I
All
would just
right.
want to get to the end and make sure this is the right decision for your business. And if this is what you've been looking for, it does check your boxes, and you do decide you want to move forward, we can look at those next steps and what they look like for you to become a client. Sounds good?
Okay, sounds good. Yep.
Perfect. So let me share my screen. Can you see that? Perfect. And I'll preface this by saying that the most common issue we see keeping clinics from being stuck is usually never a lack of capacity, or the people or the treatment, but more so a lack of consistency on how to keep the place full of committed and financially qualified patients. And the four most common issue there we see is needing more consistent qualified appointments, need help closing patients that are coming in off of paid traffic, since even though they're qualified, they're less easy to sell to as a family friend or referral, which makes sense, of course. Another issue is they don't have time to run their own ads, or more importantly, which is really 80% of the work, calling those new leads, being super fast, calling them within 2 to 5 minutes and converting them effectively. Or
Right.
another issue we see is they don't have the proper insights, or I guess the data to back up their ads. They're running 2, 3 different ads maybe per week, per month for a treatment, when in reality is like there is so much that we've in this situation already tested that can give us a huge, massive head start, especially when it comes to those types of treatments like skin tightening. That's where we step in. We keep it as simple as possible, because simple scales and complex fails. There are three main pillars we focus on when scaling any aesthetic clinic. We call it the aesthetic authority system. In a first step, we go really heavy on custom UGC video ads and building you an authority funnel that positions you as it says, the authority and the go-to expert. Because reality is like there are so many med spas out there nowadays, and there are so many med spas offering skin tightening services. Meaning if you just promote a generic, oh, get some skin tightening, get our RF skin tightening treatment, like you'll not see results. So we try to take a bit more unique angle and position you as different and as the that's step number one. Step number two is where really 80% of our work goes. We have our patient sales team, which primarily comes from Latin America, and in a lot of situations, those are US citizens that have just moved out. So we provide a very high quality of service there. We call every new lead within 2 to 5 minutes. We're able to nurture them. Speed is probably the most important part there, but we also add all those qualifying questions and into the process there. We make sure they're not coming in with contraindications and so on and so forth, so that once they're coming in, you're making money, and there's a very high likelihood of them pretty much already being willing to commit to a package. Like we're doing the homework and like heavy lifting for you on the front end. And then in a third step, we just want to make sure that once those patients are coming in, we're closing them on a package or treatment plan. So this is where we're providing you a lot of like spreadsheets. We're tracking all the numbers so that you see your ROI week by week, month by month. You can see how many patients we booked, how many you sold, and so on. And that's really when we can start to scale the system. And overall, this has been built to scale. So essentially, we just want to make sure that You can focus on the business and treating those patients. In your situation, focusing more so on the buttock patients, and we keep new business specifically for the skin tightening for your estheticians coming in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. One question I did forget to ask you, like with those past companies, so I guess also now I see on your Instagram, you guys have a lot of like videos too. Is that pretty much the primary ads that you are running, or are the ads rather like stock images?
I don't really know what she does for the ad, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think she makes her own ads. I don't know. It's probably a combination of video and images. I'm not really sure.
Okay. We go very heavy on.
When I had those prior marketing companies, my Instagram was not where it is now. So since she came on to help me do the booties at the end of 2023, and so that's really what has, skyrocketed our Instagram is really what she's done. We had 2,000 followers, and we're now almost at 60,000.
Yeah. So yeah, that's good. So she's also doing like some content and like posting on there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah. But that being said, I'm not sure if you already had a look to take a look at some of our planned interviews, and I'm not going to run you through all of them. I do like to mention 2 or 3 again, because we go very, very heavy on skin tightening. What we see works very, very well from a messaging and marketing perspective is focusing on the neck or the chin area or the face. And then we position it as a bit more so unique, such as what we've done here with Collagen Bar, which is a small franchise around New York. We spent $2,000 on ads, and in those $2,000, those was like a budget for 2 months. We got them 64 new high ticket Morpheus 8 patients. And ever since, her team has been booked out to the month in advance. And we, again, take this unique angle of not just saying, oh, get RF microneedling, like, because that's what everybody else is doing, and that just doesn't work. And instead we say, hey, get our turkey neck rescue treatment, where we go very like specific and we pinpoint a specific problem that you can help the patient. Or another example with Maria from Botanica, who we helped scale from 50,000 to 150,000 consistently, focusing on fillers, Morpheus 8, and hydrofacial. And another example, which is Annie from Simply You Medispa, who got more than 30 patients in literally the first 2 weeks of running the campaign. And here too, you can see like we're focusing on like the chin area, and we say, hey, get a double chin rest treatment to get rid of your double chin or turkey neck, because that's the type of messaging that.
Okay.
That being said, what we really go heavy on in terms of the ads is, again, building that know, like, and trust factor, and not just running some basic crappy stock image that's built by a 12-year-old on Canva. I hate to say it. If you're running an ad like this, you're in 2025. I'm sorry, it doesn't work more. So we go very heavy on like videos, and this is also kind of more so a done with you thing. If you've got somebody in-house that's able and willing to record content, absolutely fantastic. If not, we can also do it for you. We recommend using a combination of both, because we already have ads that are crushing it that we can start off with that can give you that head start. But on the other hand, like personalized content that's created directly from within the clinic always works well. And that's essentially when we would script out the content, we would build out everything for you. We'll work together on it. We'll do the editing. We'll do everything. It's more so you just need to stand in front of the camera and go script. And that's absolutely crush it. And that's what we do for Rain Med Spa in this situation, also focusing on skin tightening and the area. They were running like a super cheap Facebook promotion before that. Didn't work at all. We then came in, we scripted out all the videos for them. We've done the marketing. And from that point on, like they were absolutely crushing it. And now they're doing about, I do think like about 150 consistently too, or in like the 120 to 150. Just to show you also a couple of other examples from the ads that we run, because we go very heavy on quality there. I'll just show you a filler example and a body sculpting example just to demonstrate the points. Sorry?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That's one example. Another example is here, Dr. Marco, who literally closed like 40 grand and in 2 weeks just from this ad alone.
Is that TrueSculpt?
This is TrueSculpt, yeah.
I have that too.
Oh, nice. And he's also doing a lot of BBLs, so very similar treatments to what you guys do. Then it's a flex. So that's another ad. example, this was rather for a lower ticket offer for the body sculpting. And especially with skin tightening, we're almost only doing like 399s or 499s, just because again,
Okay.
that helps add that qualification to the process. Another example, this is talks, but still I want to show you the ad so that you can see what we're doing. This is for a franchise we work with called Beauty Fix Med Spa.
Come with me to Beauty Fix Miami at their Brickell location for a self-care day. Melissa is an absolute perfectionist and cares so much about her patients. I came in for preventative Botox in my forehead and Radius in my jawline, which stimulates collagen production. I couldn't recommend them more.
And then the third example, hypothetically, I don't really think that's necessary. I guess, do you want me to show you an ad of what it could look like if we create content together, meaning we script it and you record
You
it and
said
we'll edit it?
you said that you have a skin tightening that's your bread and butter. Can I see a skin tightening?
Yes, for sure. So those are all skin tightening ads. One ad, I'll pull it up directly here in my drive so that it's a bit bigger. It depends on I'll show you two or three of them because I think that's the primary thing. Give me 1 second. So those are like before and after video ads that we're currently running for a lot of our clients, and they're absolutely crushing it. And I don't know how many treatments that like required for her to get results like that. But in the end, like that's what we're doing in the upsell. And our goal with the ad is to get people coming in for the first treatment for $400 or $500 and then upsell them on a package, right? This is one example. I also want to show you another example because I think from what I'm hearing, this is definitely what we're going to be able to do with you guys is again, script out content, then you record it and we'll do the editing. This is an example for ageless aesthetics, I think they're called. We're doing like an RF microneedling treatment with them, also for like the face, for $500 as an intro offer. And then we script out the content, different hooks. We split test a lot of stuff. They record it and we'll do the editing.
Don't want surgery but want younger skin? Our non-surgical facelift is more affordable than ever. Hey, I'm Cheyenne. If you've been thinking about doing something for your skin, such as lifting, smoothing, or even tightening without surgery, we have the perfect solution for you. It's our non-surgical facelift featuring Pixel 8 RF microneedling. It helps stimulate collagen, lifts, tightens, dresses fine lines and wrinkles, and even texture, all without downtime and pain. Here's the best part. It's normally $1,200, but today we're offering it for only $499. This is a limited time offer, and it's only for the first 10 people that book an appointment this month. So if you want firmer skin, tighter contours, and that lifted, radiant glow without the scalpel, book your appointment today.
So this is another example. And I think like this is again what we recommend. The great thing about the before and after ads that I just showed you before, like we have a lot of them. And those are the type of ads that we can start with to give it that head start. And then in the meantime, we can work with the team together internally and create that content. Because in the long term, like you want to make sure that all the ads are personalized and completely custom with like your clinic's brand, clinic name, etc. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, and I mean, I was just thinking we have on our Instagram, we do have before and afters of clients too.
Perfect. Yeah, we could definitely also use those.
So you can use those.
Perfect. So that's step number one. Step number two is what we call a Groupon client filter. Essentially what we're doing from a targeting perspective, not sure if you've heard of that before, maybe you've seen it before, but we look a lot at like the data. And essentially we're first of all like analyzing the area, looking at those higher income areas and like zip codes essentially. And then inside the targeting, we go specifically for those population. And like this is not always 100% accurate, but at least we can weed out like the bottom 60%, 70%.
I think this is important because I've had other just use a radius. And Chicago is really big. And so, you sure that we're targeting like income and then proximity, because sometimes with traffic, it could be 10 miles away and take an hour to get to office,
Yeah, For sure. And like that's why we have a lot of different filters. It's not just the targeting specifically. And this is also part of the process where we continuously optimize. In a lot of situations, we like because we ask very strict qualification questions on the funnel, and that's the second thing I wanted to show you. In this situation, and this is what we're doing for pretty much all our clients, is we're literally asking the patient on the form, are you willing and ready to commit to multiple treatments to see the best results? Are you willing to stick to a treatment plan? And like only if they check this box, like then they get added to the process and our team calls them in 2 to 5 minutes. Or in some situations, we even specifically ask for their budget. Like, what is your budget for achieving your skin and health goals? So like we go, like we've seen that the questions on the forum have a bigger impact than targeting specifically, but kind of using a combination of both or being able to use a combination of both is kind of the key thing. And then worst case, again, I cannot promise that out of 100 patients are going to be perfect ideal customer. Like that's unrealistic, and I don't want to be unrealistic, but we can at least make sure we're reading 90%. Cool. From here, that's where probably 80% of our work goes. We call every new lead within 2 to 5 minutes after they sign up. Like statistics or studies say that increases your chances of like booking them by 30x. To be honest, I don't think it's that high. That's probably over exaggerated, but it still majorly contributes towards being like booking more appointments.
Do you find, does your pick up the phone?
If you call them within 5 minutes, they do. Or like your chances of having them pick up, yes. Not everybody will, but like the reason speed to lead is so important is because with Google, like they submitted a survey, like they searched around, like it's more so like they're already looking for this. Facebook, they are window shopping to a certain degree. They are browsing around. They just saw this ad. Oh wow, like this is something I'd be curious about. And they have super high interest, but only for a very short amount of time. Meaning if you call them an hour later, they already have seen 10 of those ads. So like you've got to just be super, super, super fast. The biggest reason we even introduced our patient sales team is because in the beginning we had our client call the leads, but in a lot of situations you're just not able to call every new lead within 2 to 5 minutes. It's just you don't have the capacity to do so. Whether you're in treatments, whether you're at the front desk, you need to say hello to a patient, you need to get the patient to fill out any forms or whatever it is. There's just so much work that needs to be done, and calling every new lead within 2 to 5 minutes and following up with them. We follow up with them typically for 7 days, 1 or 2 times a day minimum via phone, and then we have text messages and everything. Like that's a full time. Like we have a big sales team for that. And the reason we're able to double down on speed to leads is because we have multiple reps working at the same time, meaning even if somebody's already on the phone with somebody, like whenever a new lead comes in, they are the top priority. And like in our dialing system, essentially, they're being added to the very top of the dialer, meaning we can actually really make sure that those leads are being called like ASAP. That's been a really big thing for us, and that's definitely going to like majorly contribute towards bookings and them even picking up the phone. The second part is of course like weeding out any like time wasters or discount hunters, and just again set the right expectations with those patients that hey, this is not a one and done thing. This is going to require 2-3 treatments or more. And then we collect a deposit to make committed, but also make them show up. The way we do this is we take a $25 deposit, and the way our patient sales team makes their money and feeds their families is by this deposit as a commission to them. So essentially, we're taking this directly from the client. It goes directly to our patient sales team. That's the only way they make the money. That way, number one, we make sure the patient is somewhat committed and they're going to actually show up because they've already paid part to it. And then the second part to it is our patient sales team is directly incentivized in getting you as many appointments as possible. And what we also add a lot in those situations is we still add like cancellation and reschedule fees because we want patients reschedule.
Okay.
Any questions to that part? Because I will where 80% of the work goes to.
No, yeah. I mean, do you guys find that 20 is enough of a commitment that people?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Sometimes we increase it to 50, but we don't want to take a $50 commission for our patient sales team, which is why for simplicity, we typically have it at 25, but we've tested it before and it hardly makes no difference. Meaning I think the numbers were about, okay, with the $25 deposit, we're going to get you 5 bookings more, but like 2 people are going to no show extra versus with the $50 deposit, we're going to have less bookings, a higher show up percentage, But when we actually look at the numbers, like how many patients actually showed up and had done a treatment with both the different approaches, 25 well for us.
Okay.
Because in the end, the ultimate goal with the deposit is just to make them show up. That's it. And
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
to add further commitments, we typically add cancellation, reschedule, and no-show policies. Say, look, if you don't cancel, reschedule more than 48 hours before your appointment, like we're gonna have to charge you $50. Very simple. Something in that direction.
Okay.
And then in the third step, we call it sales mastery. The number one skill that I see differentiates our best clients for the mid-performing clients, or overall, like any clinic I speak with, clinics that are doing 6 figures and others that are doing 7, is really just doing like their ability to close those packages, plans, and doing those consults. So we go very heavy on providing training resources. I'm not sure if you know like what your esthetician close rates is and stuff like that, but we provide you a lot of guidance, resources, and trainings, at least for her in this situation, or also for you if you want to go through it, to implement what's working for our best clinic partners. So essentially, we've took the best processes, what has worked best for our clients. Some clients are literally closing 80 or 90% on cold traffic on a 5 or 6K package. Like literally every single lead that comes in, 90% of them, they close on a 5 or 6K package. So like super, super high. And we've gathered all those processes, the scripts, the frameworks, the way they do things, and we put into training resources for you to maximize results and outcome based on those patients. And also we go very heavy in like tracking everything, so that you can kind of see week by week, month by month, how many patients came in, what is your return on investment, and we can also see, hey, what do we still need to work on and optimize for.
Okay.
And that's overall also kind of most of our clients do decide they want to scale ad spend after either 30, 60, or 90 days, typically at the 60 or 90-day mark. Just because you again, you look at the numbers, you want to understand where you're at, and if it sense or make it a return on investment, spend step by step. So overall, we do like to say we're less of an ad agency, more of a growth partner. We have a very done for you approach. So if that's what you were looking for, I definitely think that's something that we can help with. We're very exclusive to you. So we have a small in-house joke too, where we say we don't swipe on Tinder. We're looking for long-term committed relationships. And it's kind of similar here. And in the end, with any option that we do provide, we have risk reversals, an easier step for you to commit.
Okay.
Any questions to the process, or how do you feel about everything so far?
Feel pretty good.
Is there anything about the uncertain that you feel like about the process that I guess makes you feel uncertain, or like, I'm not sure if this is going to work, or do you feel like this can actually get those good types?
The only thing would be my esthetician is to make sure that she knows how to upsell them. I'm pretty good. I have a pretty high close rate, but since I'm going to be out for 2 weeks, I want to make sure that she can close them and upsell them to higher packages.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we have that third step. So like you can see here, we have a lot of training resources, videos, materials, and literally like a word by word exact script that we're giving to you. So you can have your esthetician go through it, and we can make sure she is closing. And maybe in the beginning, she'll be closing less, but that's what you can work on over time, right? Like that's why we have those resources as a structured.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I guess the next part is the investment. I do like the conversation we had. I definitely think we can help. I do want to give you a fair warning though. So the numbers are not cheap. So all I ask is please don't hate me when you see those numbers, okay?
Okay.
Cool. First things first though, there is ad spend. So with ad spend, we just require a minimum of $50 per day for us to get the ball rolling and get started. Is that digestible for you?
So what is that? 1,500 a month or 2,000?
That
1,500.
Correct. That's 1,500 a month.
1,500 a month. Yeah, I think that's probably what most people do.
Yeah, that is the standard. Correct.
Yeah.
And you can always add more, of course. But that's kind of our minimum. From there, we have two options. One option is our pay per patient program, which is $300 per new patient that comes in, and there is a one-time setup fee of $1,500 for us to get the ball rolling. Now, this option does get more expensive over time, which is why most of our clients are seeing between 20 to 30, sometimes even more patients per month, which is why we've also started offering.
And in that 3 month, is there some sort of, like if you guys are not meeting your numbers or something like that of what you're promising us, is there some sort of
Yeah.
clause on that? Like what?
Yeah. Great question. Probably one of my favorite questions. But yeah, we do have an ROI guarantee. We don't do any of those crazy guarantees of like, oh, we get you 200 patients in 30 days or whatsoever like that, because it's very unrealistic. But that being said, like we like to put our money where our mouth is. So if you don't see results after those 3 months, if you have, we'll refund you the money.
And what would you refund?
6K. So, and like, to be honest, simply the reason, because I know some agencies do have like a guarantee where they say, like, you're not happy, you get your money back and stuff like that. 99% of the time, so it's like in the first 30 days. Why? Because most agencies couldn't bear it to refund somebody $6,000 after 3 months of works. The only reason we have that clause, fortunately enough, we never had to do it. Yeah, and that's also why we go very heavy on like skin tightening, body sculpting, and facial aesthetics, because that's what we excel at. We don't do any weight loss, let's say hair removal, like all those clients, we're declining them because we know we know what we can do, which is to have those, I guess, terms in the agreement.
Okay. Now, if I wanted to try it and I did the pay per patient, can you explain that one to me?
Correct. So both options are 3 month programs. But with the we also do offer the option to switch. So if you want to start with pay per patient and then go to the 3 month, that's fine. It just cannot be earlier than like 90 days in, like after the 3 months, just because our setup for the pay per patient is very different to the 3 month program, meaning we'd have to redo the entire setup, which is why it's either or 3 months, if that makes sense. With the pay per patient option, just we can only control everything to the point where they actually show up and come in. We'll charge you $300 per new patient that actually comes in, keeping in mind that they're going to the first introductory treatment.
So for the pay per patient, it's like they come in. So from that $499, $300. Is that right?
Correct. And anything that you upsell, that's all yours.
And as far as that goes, what about, so I'd have to, if I start with that and I'm seeing a good return, I'd have to stick with that
for 3 months.
For 3 months.
So like this, the pay per patient option, it is still a big major thing for us. But a lot of clients started to kind of switch over to they were actively asking us for other tiers just because it can get rather pricey over time. So it's like this is more so like a pay as you go type model, but your, I guess, margin is going to be lower versus with the 3 months, keep all the profits.
And so it's a $1,500 ad spend per month.
Correct.
And basically $2,000 is your management fee per month.
Yes, we do. It is a one-time payment though.
But I'm saying break it
correct.
Down. Okay. So 2,000 for the and then what is the so as far as
I mean I can if you're I mean okay. So we have
because I got screwed over by a guarantee by another management company. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get that. So with the guarantee, I'll be very transparent. I'll show you actually see what's in there. So you can see here, you're entitled to full cashback refund provided you meet all of the following terms, which is you've not generated a gross profit. Like that's the main thing. Like you've not generated an ROI, and we'll provide you a full cashback refund. Contingencies is you've not seen at least 45 new clients.
But you guys are saying, you're saying that in 3 months I should get at least 45 new clients?
This is so typically we've had it everything between 20 and 150. Some of our clients are seeing 50 or 60 patients per month. But if we get you one client that spends $5,000 with you, this person is valued more than somebody that's spending $200, right? So that said, like we're just saying that if we're giving you all the resources and about 40% of the people that are coming in or 50% of them should buy a package. And we're just saying that you should, if you've seen more than 45 new clients, but you haven't you've not taken the sales training seriously, which is, I guess, a second contingency on this, and you've not closed those patients, like that's not something we can own up for. We can do the qualification.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we have this in here. Another thing is
Okay.
just, again, the 12 weeks of running ads have elapsed. Though during those 12 weeks, we've spent at least $50 per day on ads. You attend every weekly check-in call. This is a phone call that we're going to have with you or anybody on the
Okay.
team just to make sure
Okay.
we're on track to hitting everything. Payments for Facebook and stuff are made on time. We don't want ads to be paused, otherwise we get into trouble too. You provide us with photos and videos discussed on the onboarding call before we launch. You let us run our proven ads, proven offers, and proven strategy. You update us regarding patient outcomes daily. So how that works is 1 hour after every appointment, anybody on the team will receive a phone number, text message, and it will ask you to like give us the update. Like, did they show? Did they reschedule? When they rescheduled for their second appointment for? How much they spent in the clinic? Did they get approved for financing? Like any notes? Like everything. Like this is super in depth, and this is the thing that we're like tracking essentially. So you can see here, like we'll get everything on this one sheet, like all the patients that booked, but then also like, hey, what was the lead quality like? Did they show? Was the second appointment
Okay.
scheduled? What time for? Did they convert? Did they approve? Financing? How much did they spend? Are there any visit notes? Like everything, so that you can really see what's going on. And again, we just require this survey to be updated on the same day of the appointment, just so that worst case, if this is a no-show, we can get back to them ASAP, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I like
Then
that because I've never seen that kind of follow-up. Usually it's just did they show or no show, and that was about it.
no, like we go super heavy on that. And like the more
Yeah.
we say this in the launch call, like we go very heavy on like the better you answer those surveys, the more accurate, the higher the quality of your submissions, the better work we're going to be able to do. Because if you just
Okay.
put in here like they didn't close because I need to think about it, like that doesn't give us any information. But if you put into the notes like, hey, we weren't able to close this person. We went through the entire consultation process. But her finances were limited due to like a recent divorce that she had. So we got her approved for financing, and she's going to come back for her follow-up in a week. Like that's going to give us all the information we need, and we can continue to optimize the process. So again, we're going extremely into the detail there to make sure we have everything. And that's it. Like that's the guarantee. And then the last thing is that you are the person doing the treatments, have watched the sales trainings in full. We don't require you to go through every single.
Yeah, sorry.
No
I didn't
worries.
realize my computer died. I'm like, what happened? Okay.
You suddenly disappeared. I was like talking and
Yeah.
talking. I'm like, hello?
I know. I was like, okay. So we ended. You were talking about everything is kind of traced, like
Training.
we're the training and everything. So
Yeah.
okay, so I'm just trying to think. So okay, so it sounds like you guys with that in that 3 month, at least there's a minimum guarantee, because even if at
Yeah.
$500, if 45 patients show up, that's more than what I'm investing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, the only reason we have this guarantee is simply because, fortunate enough, we never had to refund anybody. Because also, if we were to have to refund somebody, like it's a big
For
hole in the
sure.
pocket, if that makes sense.
Well,
So,
the reason why I was asking is I had this company and it was a body contouring one, and
mhm.
I didn't get the clients coming in, and they tried to put the blame on us. And it's like, well, no, your staff was supposed to be booking them. And then I lost
Yeah.
my appeal with my bank, so that's why
Yeah.
I've kind of been burned on that. And that's why I asked
No, I
you
get
about
that.
that. Yeah.
Oh, like I respect that. And I know, like I speak with so many clinics, and everybody, like even our most successful clients, like everybody has been burnt a couple of times before working with us. So like I get that point,
Yeah.
which is why we're trying to be very realistic with you.
Right. I'm definitely interested. So I was starting to watch the video with the New York spa. I think in your initial one, you sent a couple of other video testimonials. So I'd like to watch those and just kind of, I'm interested because I feel like at least for the Eligio, and one of the things I think we should mention with the Eligio is that there's no microneedling part, right? It's just radio frequency. So we can talk
Correct,
more
of
about that.
course.
Tell me the process of getting started.
So we take payment, we sign the agreement together. we'll book you in for an onboarding call with our client success manager. And then from there, our team will start the actual setup and build out, which typically, because we have a bit more like a personal custom approach, it's not just a copy and paste type of thing. Every market, every location is different. And like we account this. So that said, it does typically take us between 10 days to latest 14 days. So if you said you're gone for the first week of July, so essentially we'd be ready to run ads and launch and already have patients in the books by the second week of July. That would be a perfect time.
Yeah, and that's kind of the time frame that I'm looking for too,
For sure.
is to start then. I can
Of
be
course.
in on some of those trainings that first week, and then my staff, my front desk person has been with me since 2019, so she's very familiar
nice.
with high level. She's very familiar with,
Mhm.
whatever she would need to do, and then I think the esthetician just needs training. Okay.
Yeah. And which I guess, and like to get started, like which of the two options do you want to go with?
Well, I mean, the second one, the 3-month commitment is a little scary to me, but I feel that with your guarantee, I think that should, because that's what it is, right? Like, and again, you haven't
Yeah.
had, I'm not looking to, I'm looking to be successful. I'm not looking to get my money
To
back
be the
or
first
anything
week.
like that.
You'd be the first one to I guess I'd give you a trophy if we'd have to refund you.
Yeah. So
You'd be
I
the
think
first one to find out.
I think I'd like to do the second one just because it sounds like that's going to be a little bit more cost effective in the long run,
Yeah,
which is the goal here, right?
for sure.
As I've said, I want to make sure that we can elevate this procedure, so we're getting a lot of clients in on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shall we book in your onboarding call and kind of do some homework?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Good. Let me quickly I guess then share my screen. About the onboarding call real quick. Do you have time tomorrow or something like that? Because that way, or maybe even if you do have time, because I think you mentioned that Monday is your day off, correct?
So we are off next week, all week. So I'd like to get that in this week. So let me pull up my calendar.
Yeah, sure.
I think tomorrow I'm booked with patients. Hold on, I have to enter my code. I think Thursday is a little bit more open. So let me see.
Yeah, no worries. Pull it up. I'll pull my calendar up here too. We could do. I'm pretty like I'm gonna book. So the onboarding call is essentially where you're gonna do most of the technical setup, which is not gonna be with myself, but with our client success manager. I'm still gonna be there though. Don't worry. I'm not gonna disappear. I'm also the owner of the company, so you'll be working with me very closely. But we also have a team that's directly dedicated to your success.
Okay, I'm just looking. Thursday I'm booked. Tomorrow I'm booked. Maybe let me check and see if my esthetician is going to be in on Friday. Give me a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the process with the onboarding?
Onboarding call.
Yeah.
So like the onboarding call, the main things that we're gonna cover here is we're gonna make sure that we go through and get access to your Facebook and Instagram and page and everything. We're gonna send you over the Slack invitations, and then from there we're gonna integrate your Google Calendar, or some sort of booking software, whatever you use Vagaro, so that's pretty easy for us. We'll give you access to the trainings, and we'll build out the offers, the packages. We're gonna look at all the numbers and make sure we reverse engineer the goals. So that's what will be covered on the launch call, on the
Gotcha.
onboarding and launch call.
Okay. Do you have, let's see, so the 26th is, damn. I think I can only do the 27th,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
fine.
Friday, and
Would probably if you can do any time rather mornings, that would be great.
yeah, morning I can do like 9 a.m.
Good. And how long do you have there?
I'll have my first patient in at 11.
Oh, perfect. That would be great because it does typically take about 80 minutes. or
Okay.
we just want to make sure that you have enough time blocked out, if that makes sense, to make sure we can cover everything.
Okay, so hold on one second. Let me just, so this is going to be I'm just going to put 9 to 11, right?
Yeah, I'll send you the invite, but that's what I'll book in on our end, 9 to 10:30.
Okay, so onboarding with new marketing. Okay, all right, let's do that 9 a.m.
Good.
then on Friday.
Good. And then
And if you guys can also look on Instagram, I've done videos with Oligio. If you need me to do videos before I leave, I can do that as well. So if you
okay,
guys
that's good to
just
know.
just kind of look on our Instagram and see if you like any of that. I do have patients booked for Oligio this week, and I can take video. I
Yeah,
told you
okay.
I had two models in last week, and I sent all the content to my Instagram person, and she's going to be probably editing and doing all of that
Perfect.
this week.
Okay, yeah, that's good. We'll try
Yeah.
to get you we'll try to get you some scripts sent over until Friday or latest end of day on Friday. I don't know whether that still would be an option, but that we will definitely be able to do that.
I am in the office on Saturday, so I can always do
Okay,
videos on
perfect.
Saturday
Yeah.
if I need to.
Okay, good. Then let me quickly, I've got that booked in, so that's when we'll do the
Okay.
technical part of the onboard. Now, in terms of payment, is
Yeah.
that the email that.com? Good. Me, correct?
Correct.
Good. And this is one time as you.
Yeah.
And last thing here, before we do jump off, I'll send you over an email, or you'll probably receive or hear news and updates from our client success manager, Adriana. I think you guys will get along very well. She will reach out to you probably later today, latest tomorrow morning, with kind of next steps in an email, onboarding forms, and all the nitty-gritty little stuff that we need. From there, again, we'll send over the agreement for you to go through, sign, and submit. We've already got the onboarding call booked in, so that's great. And we'll also send over Slack invitations. Not sure, have you worked with Slack before?
I have. I'm not a fan of Slack.
Oh no, I heard it in the I have. It didn't sound like you were a fan of it, but I'm sure you'll get used to it. I still think it's such a great software, and I'm hoping that you'll get to learn to enjoy using Slack.
I think part of the problem is other companies have used Slack on, and so then when I try to join a new one, it doesn't let me because it says I'm already with somebody else.
Okay, we can, but we can look at that. Like we can make sure like you leave all the old workspaces, you just have ours because we have a very
Okay.
cool system where like you have two channels. One is like scheduling, where you'll receive real-time updates from everybody on our team in the scheduling side of things on like any sort of questions the patient has. Like you're directly connected and communicating with our team. And
Okay.
you will also get like real-time notifications for every single booking that comes in. And then we also have like general channels where we'll talk about marketing assets, ads, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm hoping, and again, I think you'll start to get to like it.
All right.
That
Well,
said,
okay.
we'll see. But that said, on your onboarding call, again, you'll meet your dedicated client success manager. We'll provide or get your Facebook access. We'll make sure that you're all, not just you, but also your team, are all added to Slack. Again, we're going to synchronize the calendars and the systems. You're going to have you're going to join our clinic Breakthrough University, our coaching programs and training videos. Now, those are more videos, like training videos, course materials, essentially, which we want you to go over. And then what we do once the actual process is started, which is on the next slide, we'll make sure we'll consistently like audit like the process inside the clinic, how many people are closing, and so on and so forth, to make
Okay.
sure like we keep track on it and we improve it. We measure it and improve it. And then also we'll of course build out like the offer that we're going to run, how we're going to call it, name it, message it, like position it and everything. And we're going to book in your launch call, which is then going to be either like on Monday, the second week of July, probably something about that time when we'll go ready and live essentially.
Okay.
So just to confirm, that's going to be the launch date of the ads. Like we're going to launch ads on Monday, second week of July, or do you want us to start a couple of days earlier, and then we
I
can
don't know. With the
probably.
4th of July weekend, are people going to really be looking on Facebook? I have no idea.
I mean, I've never even like during Christmas. Like you'd be surprised how many people book an appointment
Really?
like on a Christmas day. So I don't think it impacts some sort of,
Okay.
I guess.
I mean, I think it would be good to maybe start running it a few days before so that way we can
Yeah.
start booking that week.
Yeah, so I'm proposing, again, it does take us between 10 and 14 days. My
Right.
goal is to get everything up and running probably by Thursday the 3rd or Friday the 4th, latest until Sunday the 6th, like end of week, we should get through with it and we should launch. And then
Okay.
are you available to join us on a call anytime in the week, like the first week of July?
Yes, I'm off
Okay,
that whole week,
perfect.
so I can get on a
Oh,
call.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Then
I don't know if my
that's just required.
esthetician, I don't know if my esthetician can. She might be out of town, but
Okay.
I can.
Okay, we'll see. And
Okay.
then, yeah, from there, again, ads will go live. Then between day 7 and day 20, you'll start seeing your first patients coming in, showing up, and committing to a package or a treatment plan. And this is also where we'll audit. Again, I told you about this just a second ago. We'll audit the sales system inside the clinic, like how are things going? What are the objections that we're facing, and so on and so forth, which is why the feedback on those surveys is also so crucial and essential for us. And then from there, between those 30 and 60 and 90 days, like we're going to have bi-weekly calls at a bare minimum where we're going to look on Zoom, where we're going to look at the numbers, look at, hey, what can we improve? What do we need to improve? And so on and so forth. And then typically after either 60 or 90 days, you can decide, or I mean, it's up to you, but you can also start to scale ad spend earlier, but you can scale spend and add more campaigns and essentially increase the ROI on everything. So that's
Okay.
that. Are there any questions?
Nope, that's it.
Perfect. And yeah, as you saw on the slide, let's rock and roll. Now I'm excited to start working with you. Again, you'll hear from our client success manager very soon. Watch out from an email with like actions needed, like DocuSign agreement, something like that, just for like next steps. And then,
Okay.
yeah, I'll probably see you on the launch call just before we go live. Until then, most of our backend team is going to start the setup. You're going to have most of your communication with our client success manager. I'll still be there on Slack. And yeah, I'm again looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, let's rock and roll. That sounds good.
Let's rock and roll. Perfect.
All right, cool.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Talk to you then. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.